this new Triggre release, we have 4 new features. The first is the browser tab icon or favorite icon that you see in the browser tab, that you can change that yourself. We have application settings, we have some new functions to use in your application, and we have some performance improvements for you. So let's dive right in. First of all, the favorite icon. When you go to design and you go to appearance and go into add mode, like here, you can set the favorite icon, or the fab icon as it's sometimes called, just by clicking the logo. And you'll see here that you can set a favorite icon, and for best quality, it's best to use a square logo of at least 180 pixels by 180 pixels. And then when you publish your application, this will be shown as the browser tab icon in your application. So that's how you can do that very easily now in this release. The second thing that we have done is to make it very easy for you to access your application settings. Here in the top right, we have this little cogwheel settings icon. If you click that, you are sent to My Triggre in a new tab in your browser, where you can handle the settings of your applications, view your subscriptions and your invoices, and etc. This is already available. It's one of those things that we just made easier to access for you. In this release, we've also implemented 2 new functions to use in your applications. The first is one that we can quickly see here in this flow part. We have one calculation here, which uses this new function, which simply makes something into a text. So for example, a date, like in this case, or a number, and you can easily convert it into a text. And the second function is to get the position of one text in another. So for example, here it's just you search for a certain text in another text. So these 2 functions you can now use. So let's take a quick look at how this looks in the application. For example, here we have a date and time. You can select a date, say something like this, and a time. And then we can click the button that we've made. This will use our flow part to simply create a text from that date and time. And the second function to search for a text in another text is this one. So we have here the example text to search in. We're going to search for the word example, so it should give the number 12 as a result. So we click here, get position of search text in text, and it says, okay, the word example was found at position 12. Now, if we would search for the word this, for example, it would return 1. And notice how this is not case sensitive, so you don't have to worry about capital letters or not. And finally, if we search for a word that's not in there, for example, the word none, which is not in there, and we try to search, it says 0 as the position because it's not found. So these 2 functions you can now use in your designs. The last thing that we have implemented specifically for large and very complex designs is the speed of our validation algorithm has been greatly improved. So what that means is that if we would, for example, delete something in an application, right? So here we'll delete this flow part, that the speed at which Triggre now finds a problem in your design is much faster than it was before, specifically for large and complex design. So here it shows that there's a problem, you've thrown something away, you need to fix this. So this is it. That's our new release. We hope you enjoy it very much, and there's more to come soon.